Now, before I get into my review of Season 4, Episode 9 of Only Murders in the Building, I will say this now. This review has big, massive spoilers. So if you don't want to know what those spoilers are, stop watching now. If you want to know what happened in this episode, continue watching, or just check the episode out yourself and then come back to this review. So let's get into my review of Episode 9, Season 4 of Only Murders in the Building. Wow, what an insane episode of Only Murders in the Building, Season 4, Episode 9, titled Escape from Planet Klongo. The words that are used in this episode is just hysterical. Not only do you have Planet Klongo, you have Project Ronkonkoma. Basically, the episode starts off where we see Saz coming out of a studio after her work day. She goes to her car, and as she's backing up, she backs into someone who evidently rolls into her car. We don't see who that is, but we think it's Glenn Stubbins, the character that Paul Rudd plays this episode or this season in Season 4 of Only Murders in the Building. And then as Charles, Oliver, and Mabel are waiting and sitting to talk to Stubbins, the head bartender at the Concussions restaurant comes in with flowers. Is like, yeah, why are you three here? What's going on? What's that? And in order to get to talking to people of what happened with kind of Saz's protege and Glenn Stubbins and everything. And it's like, who else knows about it? He's like, oh, the director of the movie. And they're like, who's that? He says, Ron Howard. So then the entire episode is Charles, Oliver, and Mabel trying to talk to Ron Howard. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, Ron Howard. Yeah, they're not going to get Ron Howard in one episode of Only Murders in the Building. So as the episode progresses, we see kind of they go to where this kind of film is being made called Escape from Planet Klongo, and they have to, in order to be background extras, they have to give their best scare or scream. So Oliver, Charles, and Mabel do pass that test. Oliver and Charles are put into mocap suits, and then Mabel is put into like this nice little, makeup and outfit. But then she gets a text message that says Stubbins woke up. So it's like, okay, so she leaves, she has to go there, and then you see Charles and Oliver on the stage and they're given direction, and it's like, when you see this monster, just run. But Oliver is so over the top that he just stays there and acts. And then Charles is like, what are you doing? And Oliver's like, help me, come here. And Charles just lays it on Oliver in a kind of interesting way that you've never seen these two kind of, go at it back and forth. It kind of hurts Oliver's feelings in a way. And after the fact, you see that Charles was jealous because, Charles is there with Oliver all the time through life. They're best friends. And Charles is like, I have you as my emergency contact. And I kind of got a little jealous when, you said you were going to put Loretta down as your emergency contact. And it's like, okay, what's the whole aspect of the friendship is there, which is really, really good to see. And then you see Charles and Oliver, basically Oliver's like, yeah, you're going to throw me my bachelor party? And Charles is like, well, okay. And so, and kind of they get kind of hungry and famished after the whole day that they were there. So they go to this Chinese restaurant, and all the for reason you see Mabel go to the hospital, but she's too late. Glenn Stubbins is killed, and he's dead by someone who came in and smothered his face with a pillow. And it's like, okay, who's really doing all of this? And then you see intercuts between the 2 years ago where we see Saz Pataki on the set of Project Ronkonkoma, who is giving her protege kind of the basics of the stunt aspect of what's going on, what's happening, what to do. The director's going to yell this, this, and this. You get it in one shot, one take. It's good. It's golden. Let's do this. And then it goes back to Charles and Oliver. They're sitting there drinking their whiskey, their Johnny Walker, and they're just having Chinese food and everything. And then Charles hears a voice. He looks over. He's like, "You gotta be kidding me!" And literally, it's Ron Howard. They got Ron Howard in an episode of Only Murders in the Building, which I did not expect. When they said that name, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then the episode kind of did poke fun at itself when Oliver's like, I want A-listers at my bachelor party. So it's like, they have all these A-listers already. What more A-listers could you want? Being that it's Ron Howard. So they sit there, they're speaking with, Ron Howard at the Chinese restaurant, they're eating, talking about the past and everything. And then as Mabel comes back from the hospital to go to her apartment, you see Marshall Pope there, the screenwriter for Only Murders in the Building, the podcast, or they're turning into a movie. And then it's like, okay, what is really, really going on? And what is really, really happening? So they're talking to Ron Howard and Charles and Oliver, and they're like, all right, well, what is that? What is the aspect? And then we go see that, when the stunt was done, Ron Howard yelled, cut, put the fire out. But then the stuntman came up to Ron, was like, can you read my script? Can you read my script? And then it kind of, evidently, the stuntman ignited on fire again, burned kind of Ron Howard's eyebrows, and Ron Howard takes it over. He's like, yeah, can you see that? It's fake eyebrows. And he's like, yeah, and, if you find him, tell him to, bring my shoes, because he stole my shoes from the my trailer. And so they take a picture of the shoes, and it's the same shoe print that you saw back a few episodes ago, I believe, in one of the, I think it was 2 or 3 or one of the episodes where they were imprinted on one of the sticky mats where you don't bring in dirt on the set of a movie. And it's like, oh, okay. So it's like this. And Mabel's like, you want something to drink? She goes in the box of beer that they were supposed to give into Glenn Stubbins, and something is between it. She pulls it out and it says, Only Murders in the Building, the movie, written by Saz Pataki. And it's like, wait a minute. And Mabel's like, Marshall, why is this, say, written by Saz Pataki? And then you see kind of Mabel get a text message, but her phone's on the bed where Marshall is. It's like, Marshall Pope is Saz's protege. Marshall Pope is Saz's protege. So, full ringer, ding, ding, ding. Episode 9 has just revealed the killer. And it's Marshall Pope, ladies and gentlemen. Spoiler alert, if you didn't know, too late. There you go. But wow, what an insane way of having an episode end like this, and what can happen further or more, and why. I mean, that Marshall wanted to be a screenwriter and everything, but then he went into stunt work. And then it's like, were Stubbins and Saz holding him back for some reason? He did make a mistake, evidently, because he went up to the director and kind of got himself blacklisted in Hollywood. But how can you do it if you just put on a beard, put some eyeglasses on, And it's like, oh, you can't really tell who he is because he had blonde hair back 2 years ago. So then it's like, whoa. And then you can tell why now. Saz had all of this stuff on the wall in her place, in her apartment, because she was researching for the movie, the Only Murders in the Building movie. And everything is falling correctly. So all of the questions are being answered. And wow, I mean, I'm curious to see what they're going to do in the season 4 finale, which is episode 10, which will be the wedding of Oliver and Loretta. The question is, will someone die in that wedding? Or will something else happen in order to set up season 5? Because there's a murder at a wedding. That always gets people talking. And then you got to wait another whole year to see what the aspect is and who did what, why, and how. I mean, holy shnikes. Insane season, episode. Absolutely love it. Love the talent, love the acting, love the writing. Everyone hits their mark so perfectly. I mean, how can you not love Steve Martin and Martin Short? And then putting Selena Gomez, pairing her with them, so good. And then you get Ron Howard, someone I didn't expect to show up real quickly just for a cameo in a episode like this. I mean, big name actors coming in. Like, if they have this many big name actors in season 4, who can you get for season 5? That's the question. That's going to be, has to be a big one. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about Season 4, Episode 9 of Only Murders in the Building, titled Escape from Planet Klongo. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? Did you like the aspect of the story and how it feels? Did you think that was your prediction right about who the killer was? Or were you wrong, and did you suspect that it was Marshall Pope? Or do you still think it's not him? Or do you think it actually is him because his motive of being a screenwriter, being blacklisted, of what he did on set with Ron Howard and everything? And what was your favorite part and what was your least favorite part? And what do you think will happen in the season 4 finale that will set up season 5? Because I feel like something's going to happen at the wedding that will set up Season 5. Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week to my Season 4 finale, Episode 10 review of Only Murders in the Building.